Hey everybody, I want to do something different today. I'm going to use my rock tumbler here to start getting my clad in order so that I can roll it and take it to the bank and see how much I actually have. There's many methods of doing this. Most people use vinegar and some Dawn dish soap, like this right here, and stuff like that. On the pennies, it works pretty good, but you have to know this. When you put the vinegar in and seal these, it will explode because it's going to off gas. So if you're going to use vinegar, what you definitely want to do is let the fizzing and all that stop before you actually put the lid on, screw it in, and put it in. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. None of the videos said anything about it when I was doing it, when I was learning how to do it. Anyhow, so I've already done some quarters here, and that's with no vinegar, because if you get a penny in there and there's some kind of chemical, it will turn everything copper, which I've already done. See, these got all screwed up. So I'm going to try to fix that and get that out and get the stain out. So what I use, and I use this also for my silver, all my silver, is jeweler's media. And if you guys can see that, there's 5 different shapes, rods, cones, all sorts of stuff. And there's 1.5 pounds in here. So let's add that. And you have to have one of these really fine mesh sieves, sieve, whatever you want to call it, for when you're washing stuff. So add that. I'll add a handful of dirty quarters. They're not as gross as they were from the beach at first, but they're still messed up. Throw some of those in there. A little bit of Dawn. And I like to use this rock tumbling grit. It's not recoverable, but it's not that expensive either. But it really takes the crud off them. Throw about a tablespoon or so in there. I had it left over from a rock tumbling project for my son, so I've got it. Anyway, add a little bit of water just to cover it up, just a little bit. Cover it up just a hair. And everybody does it different. And for a comparison, I've got regular aquarium gravel here, plus these little ceramic pieces. And that's what most people use. And it's fine to use that. Everybody's got their own limit. So we're going to throw another handful quarters in there. A little squirt Dawn. Some water. Alright. And then we're going to let this go. We'll do it for, say, 2 hours and check it. Alright, so I'll put this on for 2 hours and we'll come back, rinse it out, and check it. Alrighty, 2 hours went by. Pop the lids off. And there's nothing special about this rock tumbler. It's Harbor Freight, cheaper. Alright. This one over here definitely looks a lot darker than that one. That one looks a lot cleaner. Get you turned over here to the sink. Get this set up here a little bit. Alright, let's see what we got. We'll do the darker one first and see if it's if it was the rocks or the jeweler's media. And it's the jeweler's media. So much darker. And remember, there's no chemicals in this at all. None. It looks a lot better. stay in the same spot of the sink. You do lose, so like you lose that grip, but whatever. Probably should be doing this outside, but I can always unclog it if I clog it up. I'll be sitting in the heat trap. Maybe I can recover it actually. Alright, turn you guys around. Get this all set up for you so you can see what I'm doing. Alrighty, so quarters, 2 hours. Before I put them in, they looked like that. See, some of them are turned copper. And I know there was no copper. I don't know the chemicals I used or whatever, but they look like that. Now, after 2 hours of the jeweler's media, they look like this. Pretty shiny. No chemicals. And let me tell you something. The jeweler's media is the answer for all your silver. It will take any silver ring or any chain you have. I don't care how big it is. But it will take that silver, and I see it's all nice and pretty clean. It will take any silver item you have that is jet black. I'm talking that color black from being in the ocean or wherever you found it, and it will turn it perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect, shiny. And I don't have any silver to show you, except maybe one ring I just did, so stand by, I'll go get that. Alright, here's a ring that I just found, missing 2 stones, turquoise. And I put that in there for about an hour, and it was all folded over and messed up. I mean, it was smushed over completely, so it didn't get that part. But this thing was absolutely jet black. Black as it comes. Been in there for a long time. All purple, black. And it got it that clean. No chemicals at all. So, you know, like I said, do what you want. Stuff's not that expensive. You can do whatever you want to do. And clean your coins and your jewelry however you want. I mean, I've ultrasonic. It's good for getting sand out of stuff, but it's not gonna clean your jewelry. Yeah, not your silver. I mean, it's good for like gold, I guess. I throw sunglasses in my ultrasonic cleaner to clean them up. You know, Ray-Bans and stuff like that. Cleans everything out of them. And it's okay. You know, I don't really use it that much. Not since I started using this jeweler's media. Because it'll clean gold, it'll clean anything. And it doesn't really damage it. And that's the big thing. It's not damaging stuff. You know, all this clad was all different colors and different levels of corrosion. It was all messed up. And I'm sure you can buy this pretty cheap on. I got it on Amazon just because I wanted it quick, but you can get it on eBay, or you can get it on Temu or one of those places pretty fast. Just throw all this stuff back in. Get ready for another round. And in this video, I'm gonna actually roll all my clad so I can see how much I got for the year. Last year was around $450, almost $500. I think pennies will be interesting. I don't think I'll use the jeweler's media on them. I'll probably just throw, because most of them are going to be thrown out anyhow. So I'll probably end up just taking those and throwing in the rocks and vinegar and stuff. Like, don't forget, seriously. You'll find out the really hard way, and if you don't have it set up to catch anything that explodes, it makes a freaking mess all over your walls, everywhere, everything. So, sticking our handfuls, load it up again, a little bit of soap, and that one's done. All right, now let's go for this one. Same amount of time, no grit. I did use the rocks on this. It's pretty dark. Maybe I did put grit in it. No, I guess I did. This is the standard method everybody uses pretty much, plus vinegar, but vinegar is not needed if you use that media. And I think this would finally do the job, but it's going to take a lot longer. And I can already tell it didn't do nowhere near as good a job as that jeweler's media. That stuff is amazing. I'm telling you guys, it's the answer. Might take like fine scratches, maybe even. I don't know. Might take fine scratches out of these old. Who knows? Not that any of us want to lose any more gold. Let's get this turned around. Tripod action. All right, so you're going to be hunting these things. They stick, so that's why I do it on top. It's easier to pick up the little rods that are in there. So this pile, we'll say, is that pile was done in jeweler's media. I'm mixing up my nickels. Oops. Those nickels were done with jeweler's media also. Up here. Alright, so let's see what we got. These are ceramic. You know, they weigh down over time. See how fast this is. It's not as good, I can tell you that already. I can already see it. It did okay. I mean, for no chemicals. I mean, people put all sorts of weird stuff in there too. They'll use CLR, all sorts of stuff. And why spend the money if you don't have to? You reuse that jeweler's media over and over and over and over and over again. And it wasn't that expensive. I think 10, 15 bucks for a pound and a half. And I've used it so much, and it's cleaned so many silver items. It's not even funny, but I didn't think I'd ever get clean. They were so black. Like those real fine micro chains, turned every single one of them. Every single one like brand new. Now you can't do a lot of those at a time, or you're going to be doing like I did, because I was lazy. And I threw a bunch of those chains in there, and they came out a big knotted mess, and it took me an hour to sort them all back out. Probably not a good idea. I was just in a hurry, trying to cut corners. It's one thing about life, time. You never get enough of it, you never ever get it back. That one's rusted. It's the one thing you can't buy. It's more time. And all of us, our time's precious. So try to do things as efficiently as possible. And it seems like this jeweler's media cuts down the time. I don't have to buy any vinegar. I don't have to buy anything except for that media, and that's it. Just let it eat. And it's good for coins. It's good for everything. And it's made for jewelry. So, you know, if you find a nice coin, like a nice silver one, and you want to get it clean, but you don't want to leave that chemical residue or that chemical stain on it, you might want to try the jeweler's media. Of course, you want to try it out on something that's garbage first before you do it. So there's a comparison. Oops, sorry. Tripod. You know, there's still some brown ones in there. And it was random. I just grabbed a handful. So, you know, these turned out really nice. These are okay, same amount of time. So, actually, what I should do is throw those in here and clean them. Because I don't have to clean them anyway. Oh, there's soap on them already. Never mind. So I'll do that next. I'll take these after I run those, and I'll throw them back in there and see how clean it gets. Same amount of time, 2 hours. Let's see what happens. All right, so that, a little bit of this. Should I do? I guess I did put grit on the other one. This grit, I think, is really what helps a lot too. Just a little bit, goes a long way. And then some water. A little bit of water. All right. And I don't want to hear any comments about how your pennies blew up. So I'm going to show you on this in this instructional video how it all foams up and everything. Most of you already know, but for those of you who are new to this, you'll see what I mean about off-gassing. Alright, so that one's ready to go. Next run will be these right here, and then we'll start. You know, I really should check all these. It's just for that W and all that. It just takes too much time. And I'm freaking blind as a bat without, you know, cheaters on. We're getting old, just the way it is. Alright guys, so I'm going to run this for 2 hours. And then the next part of the video will actually be me running these and seeing how they actually turned out. Alright guys, stand by. Alrighty, I ran these for about 2 hours. And this is going to be the batch that I redid. I had to redo what I was talking about because it didn't come out very good. I figured out what the culprit was. The culprit was a, let's see what batch this is. That's some nickels I did. Look at those last. I figured out what the culprit was. There was a peso in there. And it was exactly the same size as a quarter. And it was so corroded you could not tell the difference. And that's what turned some of these quarters copper. So I mean, you really need the look. And I don't even know. I think it was a batch I ran or something. I might have put some clean vinegar or something in there. I was doing some tests. And it screwed them all up. So I try not to use chemicals if I can help it. Alright. Let's see. The jeweler's media did its job, and maybe it cleaned off all that clad. All the copper off the clad. Wow. Flat came off it. Oh, it's corrosion. Telling you, this jeweler's media is awesome. And you don't have to clean it like this if you're going to turn it into the bank, but Coinstar, I think, I've never used them because I like rolling them. Coinstar will reject, from what I've seen on videos, will reject some of the real dirty ones. They look 100 times better than they did. Alright. Cool. Let's get the camera turned around. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, so these were all, almost every single one of these was copper stained. Pretty bad. The only ones I pull out, because I don't really check them, is my son likes the bicentennial ones. So if there's a bicentennial one in there, I'll pull it out and put it in his little piggy bank. But I'll count all them. Yeah, this one was super black. But I'll pull out, you know, all the bicentennials, but I'll count them in the total for how much clad I found for the year. This is 72, I think. 85 anyway. So I get all these out, and you know what? It did do its job because it looked like a bunch of them looked like that. See the difference in the color? And that was from that one peso that got into a batch, and it took all that copper color off there. And a bunch of them looked like that. Worse, actually, like that. So, the best thing to use is this jeweler's media. No chemicals, just some soap, a little bit of that grit. And yeah, it turned these suckers perfect. I mean, better than they were anyway. Not bad at all. Should all run to the Coinstar very well. I don't see one really bad one in here. Comparative to what they were like, which is And this is all these have already been ran once with rocks, but they all look like that. See how dirty those are? Most of them. Still. And it took all that copper off of there. Alright, so that's what that looks like. I'll cut back to it to the nickels. I think I just ran the rocks on the nickels. So stand by. I'll bring you back up on that. Alright, here's the nickels. Let's give them a rinse. See if they look right. And this is just rocks and a little bit of grit. Some soap. Oh, one on snuck in, see? I missed that one. But I don't think it turned anything color because I didn't have any chemicals in there. Any vinegar or anything. We'll see. Alright, let's turn back around. Oh, let's see how these turn out. Quarters turned out great. Every single one of them. Looks good. But I didn't have enough jeweler's media to run both of them, and why waste the time? If I don't have to, I can run 2 drums at one time. So I threw the rocks in. I threw those rocks in to run at the same time as the quarters. So I'm trying to pick these little rods up from the jeweler's media. It's like, I think it's 20. I think I paid $20 for a pound. So, and I mean, I've ran a whole bunch through here. I mean, you lose a few, but they're stainless steel, so I don't think they wear down that fast. Anyhow, yeah. So the quarters, the nickels, see, they don't come out as good. Even with soap, I mean, with that jeweler's media, it hits all the nooks and crannies. I mean, a lot of them look decent. They're good enough to roll, you know. But if you want to get them right, and they're a penny. Man, I keep missing this thing. Just getting too big a hurry. But see, now I'm going to turn copper. So I didn't use any chemicals. And let me tell you what, I've done it in the past where I just missed one penny. And it turned a giant batch, absolutely copper. And I don't think the bank cares because by law they have to take all legal tender, from what I've seen and heard. But I don't want them to say, hey, I'm not taking your clad anymore because you're giving me garbage. So I'll at least run them through the rocks and clean them up a little bit because I have a good relationship with my banks, you know. I don't need gonna get mad. There's a dime. I separate all my coins every week when I get home when I'm cleaning everything off. But sometimes I get in a hurry. I throw the wrong one in the wrong pile, the wrong bucket. It just saves me. I used to just all throw it in one giant bucket, you know. And this actually saves me a lot of time. Separate them all. Especially when I go to roll them. And I would do rolling on this video, which I'm going to do. I just have to get to the store and buy some more of the paper rolls because I have a lot of them. I still have no idea where I put them. Cannot find them. Searched for them all day yesterday. So, best place to get those, Dollar Tree. Dirt cheap. Run into the Dollar Tree and get you, if you want to roll them. I mean, I kind of like to see everything roll before I go to the bank. I think it's kind of cool. It's old school. I mean, it does take some time, of course, but I think it's worth it. I like it, and I can make a video of it and show it to you guys. So for now, the next one I'll do is pennies, but I need to get. I guess I could do some pennies now, just to show you how they turn out. Because after that, you only have to keep running these corners and get them clean, of course. It had only been one pass for like 2 hours though, if I wouldn't have had that foreign coin in there. But I'll go get some pennies and we'll make a video of that also, so you can see the foaming fizzy action and all that good stuff. Alright, stand by. I literally have 2 of those full. Let's see how big it is. I got 2 of those full pennies, so you can tell I'm a penny digger, I guess, because you never know. And these are just, some of them are just as crusty as it gets. So let's do a handful in here with the rocks. And these I barely clean them, and they're full of seashells and everything else. About that far. And I usually use Vinegar white alcohol, but I didn't have any, so I got this awesome clean vinegar. Let's just see how it does. I had that on hand. I didn't have the regular clean or regular vinegar, and I don't think it's nowhere near strong, because I'm not seeing nearly as much. Like all that corrosion would just start bubbling with regular vinegar. So I'll have to get some and do another one to show you, because there's hardly any bubbling at all going on. And with regular vinegar, that sucker should be going nuts right now. And that's why I say you have to let it off gas. Little soap. Let it off gas, because if not, it will blow. And I'm not kidding, it will put nasty, just black gray stuff everywhere. So be aware of that. This is not as strong. Nowhere near as strong. I can tell. So it's a bad representation of vinegar. Well, we're going to try it anyway, because I don't care if I destroy every one of these pennies. Most of them will never get rolled anyway, because they're garbage. Okay, so there's that one. Alright, and just for fun, get that quarter out of there. Quarters in this. Make sure there's no quarters in there. Alright, there's, I'll get this out there. There's the jeweler's media. Let's throw some crusties in there. I want to try this simple green right here. I've got some. Just wondering how it would work. So, we're going to throw some of these crusties in there. I'm sure everybody goes, oh, what am I going to do with all this crappy clad that we caught? Look at that conglomerate. Yeah, that's a good one there. All sorts of crap. Right, throw some crusty pennies in there, and let's do an experiment. Let's try some simple green and see what happens. I don't need that much because it's concentrated. A little bit of soap. Not going to waste great on these. It's water. Boom. Tops on. And when this tumbler finally dies, I am going to buy a vibratory that can do more at one time. That nice and tight. Because the vibratory and some of the other ones out there that cost a little bit more money seal everything in. You know, it's not going to blow apart like these things will, like if you start to off gas. Double check this one to make sure it's not off gassing. So I don't need a mess on my hands. Done that too many times. I figured out what it was. Not something you want to get in a hurry for. Nope, not a single bubble. Okay, so clean vinegar is nothing like regular household white vinegar. It is a lot stronger than this stuff. What it says. Then it's really hard to even smell. It's probably what's the dilution on this? Yeah, it doesn't break down a percentage, but it's not very strong until you can smell it. Regular white vinegar will make this foam explode. All right, let's run these for 2 hours and we'll come back. Alrighty, been about 2 hours. Oh, that's under tight. Nothing exploded. Like I said, there's not a high, I don't think there's a very high acid content in that vinegar. So I don't expect it did much. Oh, pretty dirty. I think this one is it smells like the simple green. Alright, let's go give that a wash. Turn you guys around here. Give it a nice rinse. Ooh, pretty black. Well, no, this isn't the simple green. Or was it? I don't remember now. This is the one with the media. Get that cleaned up. Probably shouldn't do this inside. There's sand and stuff. I didn't rinse them that well before. You like to see how many holes I dug to get all these pennies and stuff, so this time I'll share it with you. And this is not a full year. This is it's October 15th right now, so there'll probably be some more. I can always do an update. I might have put simple green in here. I don't remember. It kind of tarnished the shot a little bit, but I don't think that'll affect it. What's that? Oh. Alright, that's turn back around. There we go. Back around. I did find the culprits. This is what turned on my quarters, that color. Look at that. Perfect size. 20 pesos, or 200 pesos. If you guys can see that. That's what got me. And if I would have had one of these when I was sorting, oh, not that one. This one. This one was in there too. Whoa, that's a strong magnet. Yep, super strong magnet. This little guy got in there. He's a little bigger than a quarter. Just a little bit bigger, as you can see. And it got in there, and that one's copper. And that is... look behind the camera here and see. Right there. 2 pence or something like that. There's the little queen. Yep. So these things will get you. They'll get you real quick. So it's always good to have like a magnet of some sorts. You can run it through your clad, your silver clad, and make sure nothing's in there like that, because it will turn a quarter like that. Or look at that one. It's like a penny, huh? That's most of it. And that was due to chemicals. But the shot will take it out. The jeweler's media will take it out. So there you go on that. These pennies, oof, I think they're still crusty. But you're going to get that, you know. Never ever spendables. You can run them as long as you want. And they're never going to be spendable. So you just have to go through them. And I'll keep a track on how many of them are good and how many of them are bad. And You know, which ones I can roll, which ones I can't. Just so we get an idea of how many I've dug this year. I'm sure you guys all dug a million too. Foil. Next time I do this, I'll probably, next run of pennies, I'm not running pennies for a while, but next time I do run these, I'll rinse them all underwater. Sometimes you even get a dime in there. And if there had been vinegar, those dimes right there would have been completely copper. Yeah. There's some super crusties in here. What's left of a penny. I don't remember if I put the simple green in this one or the other one with the rocks. This one might have had the vinegar in it. I don't know. Clean vinegar, like I said, is not very strong. And I'll do another run of pennies and let you see it. Look at that. Let you see it all foam up so you know what I'm talking about with it exploding in your tumbler. And I'll probably pull any wheat pennies out of here. I don't ever really check them. If I find any, I just put them in with my son's coins that I saved for him. Yeah, that sucker. I don't even know what that is. Questionable. Anyway. Alright, enough with that. Let's get the other one because you know, I don't want to make this video too long. That really didn't do anything to them, and they still look awful. You need the vinegar on these to get the amount of corrosion off. Because they will come cleaner, and I'll show you. I just need that vinegar. These things are a real pain in the butt to get off. There it goes. Pretty dirty. Alright, let's flip this around. Poor sink. Got destroyed here. Alright. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back with you. I gotta get this media out of this thing. Alright, penny time finally. The worst part of it. You guys, let's see what these look like. A lot of roasted pennies. And I'm not putting a lot of effort into these for the simple reason that most of them are going to come out unspendable. You could go through and sort through them all, but you can see the amount of corrosion from the zinc. And I finally got some vinegar. There you go right there. Just white vinegar. This I'm going to pour in there. You can dilute it and add some water. It's cheap enough though. But you guys are going to start seeing this bubbling. See that? Well, if you don't let them bubble a little bit, gas is going to build up. It's going to blow the top off it. And it's going to put black, cruddy, nasty water, vinegar, and water everywhere. So I'm actually going to let these guys soak a little bit. Because as they're tumbling around, this vinegar is going to start eating that corrosion. And it's going to build up gas. And it's going to come out like a gray, sludgy looking stuff. And it's just going to blow up everywhere. And so I let them off gas. Another thing you can do, I guess, is you could take your container you got them in. And you could probably pour some vinegar in there and just ahead of time just let it start eating some of the corrosion off. And then just give it a little stir every now and again. Ahead of time.
Let them soak in vinegar. Believe me, if any of you have ever done it, I had these things explode. Whatever's near it is getting stained. I mean, it's nasty. And I went back to the rocks. Add a little Dawn in there also. Like I said, I'm not going to run these forever because half of them are going to be thrown out probably anyway. But you can still, I mean, there's still a chemical reaction going on here. Probably with the zinc and the corrosion. Even when I ran some clad with vinegar in it, it still puts the gas in there. What else, excuse me. What it will also do is deform these cylinders because they're rubber. And they'll stop rolling. Okay? But you can already see just the vinegar in there, what color this is turning. It's getting all funky. That's not from the soap either. A little bit, but not much. I'll probably add a little bit of water to this too. But yeah, let them off gas. You can see it really good here. Starting to get in there. Starting to eat some of this corrosion, and where the corrosion has gotten into the zinc, I think is where it makes most of its where it starts making most of its reaction. Probably doesn't like that zinc. Just the way I do it. You guys do whatever you want. Just making a video to show you guys. But I finally got the clad done. I just got to run out and get some rollers, some papers to roll these. And I wanted to start on these pennies because I got so many of them. They're everywhere. Anyhow. Alright, I'll bring it back after I let them roll for a little while. Alrighty. I can't tell. Maybe that was a simple game. It was. I do believe, though, that the rocks might knock more chunks off of this stuff. You just gotta let it run a little longer than I did, probably. Piece of aluminum or something. Most of the pennies we find, you guys know, beyond saving, so. This will kind of clean up the good ones, and the bad ones will just pop them. I don't think there's even any recyclable value in them. There's not enough copper left in them anymore. Alright. That here. The camera turning back around. Alright, so that's the first run with the shot. It didn't do much. I think it might be a nickel or something. But it didn't do a whole lot. Looks pretty bad. And then this run looks about the same. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when I run these with vinegar. Because they look about the same. Bad. Didn't even matter if I put simple green in there. Which is more of a degreaser, I guess, anyway. Yeah, these look pretty bad. So, I mean, you guys can see them. They still look like crap. So, we'll end the video here. And what I'll do is I'll get some vinegar and continue this video with cleaning these pennies using vinegar. But now you'll see a comparison of no chemical, well, I use chemicals, whatever. The wrong chemicals opposed to what happens with vinegar. Because vinegar will absolutely eat all that off. Yeah, these didn't come out good at all. That and I'll, maybe have to run them a little longer. That looks... Well, it's kind of cool doing these points too, because you find stuff you didn't know you had. That
It's 10 something. It's got a, I mean, it's one of those Botswanian coins, so it's got some kind of a algae or big critter on it. You guys can see that. I'll get it straight. Like that. I found a bunch of these down in South Beach. Pretty sure that one was from Botswana. I don't know. Put this aside. Check it later. But you find like little hidden treasures in these, you know. And, you know, if you're lucky, you might even find a silver dime or something, or a silver quartz. We don't really find that many here in Florida. That's definitely not a penny. Too big. Yep, see, run that magnet in there. That's going to be a foreign coin for sure. Probably should do that ahead of time. You would have picked it all up. Anyhow. Alright, so they look the same. They look like crap. So what we're going to do is, next we'll run them with the vinegar and see how they turn out. Because these are awful. I've had way better results using vinegar. And I think I used salt before, a little bit of salt and vinegar or something like that. Can't remember. It's been over a year since I've run any clad through the machine. Anyhow, alright, we'll stop the video here. And when I get to the store, I'll buy some real vinegar. And we'll go from there. Fishing line. Alright, until next time. Bring you back up whenever I got some vinegar and we can run these properly. Alright, so I literally had it on there for less than a minute. Ooh, that's not good. And this, I sat it down, popped off because of the gas. And you can see how this is bulged. You see that? That's a straight surface. So it's flush there and it gets, look at that difference. That is what explodes. So I hate using vinegar with zinc. It's going too fast. So I'm going to screw that just a little bit. Go around this slow because it's going to pop. I'm just, oh, there it goes. There, off gassed. And that held it, so. I was trying to go fast, like an idiot. Normally I'll do a couple runs with just water and soap. Because of this. This is totally going to blow. Not good. But we're not going to waste it either. So, I'm going to pile of pennies here. Pour my vinegar in and let it soak. And not waste this vinegar. There we go. And instead of running vinegar, hopefully got most of it out. I'm going to run just water and soap. And with pennies, you might have to run, you know, 2 or 3 times cleaning it in between just water and soap before you do the final clean with vinegar or whatever to knock some of the crud off it. The amount of time it takes, I mean, it's probably better to just dry tumble the damn things, which works better with a vibratory tumbler, probably. But I caught this, see, this is still not tight. I caught this just before it was ready to explode on the machine. No bueno, because it would have made a mess everywhere. Pennies are the worst. Some of the air out. That thing popped. As soon as I sat it down, before I even got the camera on, it popped the lid right off it.
I had them all tight, so we'll just run soap and water for now. Let these all soak and maybe they'll off gas. I don't know. Like I said, for the amount of work, unless you just like have fun doing it, it's half the time to sort through them, throw them away. Better off in the long run, you know, wasting time doing it. So we'll run soap and water through it for an hour, and then we'll come back. And for all of you who wanted to see the coin roller, this is what it is. You can see there's not very much clearance here or there, and when this base here expands, it pushes these out, and they will actually, like the way I found them was this one was out, that one was down, and was ready to explode. But it's flat now, so through here they can touch. And I took the vinegar out, of course, and just put soap and water, let it run through there and knock the crust off, and that way you can see which ones are going to be worth even running, and just go through, sort them out, and throw the junk ones away. So we'll let this run for a couple hours. But see that right there, all that gray crap right there, that's where it exploded. This stuff here, all that crust, that's where it exploded. Basically shot all over the wall and everything. It was a mess. So yeah, pain in the butt. And the clad will do it too if you add vinegar. Maybe some people use lemon juice, I don't know, it's kind of expensive, I guess, to be using lemon juice unless you have a lemon tree. But yeah, let this run, and then we're gonna run this. I'm even gonna run this bullet that I just found, just to see how shiny I can get it. I'll run that. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, yep. So we're gonna run this for an hour or so, and we'll open it up. Hopefully it doesn't explode. All right, hours passed. Let's take a look at them real quick. See what they look like. As you can tell, these things, just put some vinegar on them, fizz them up, it's all getting all nasty and black. Hopefully I'll be able to run those with some vinegar and rocks and see what happens. So I don't need any more explosions, that's for sure. That's what we got here. Release the pressure coolers, if there's any in there. Oh, good. Doesn't look too dirty. Turn the camera around. And I'm not using the shot because, well, jeweler's media anyway, because it's a pain in the butt for coins to get it out. This thing. Alright, get this camera turned around. Oh, oops, quarter is in there. Turn that sucker copper. Oh, we can fix that. Yeah, not too bad. Really, I mean, you at least can go through it now. Pick out the ones that you know. Like that, they'll never be spendable. You want a separate jar if you want to go through them all. That might be able to be saved. But you know, stuff like that will never go through a coin star or anything. So that'd be the next step. It's going through and getting all the roached out ones. Like that, you know, the ones with holes in them and all that. The never ever spendable ones, that might, nope, see, it's got a hole right in the front of it. So it's a process, you know. Most people probably just throw these pennies away right off the bat. But you're going to get some good ones out of there. And out of that, you can run it with the vinegar make it look nice, you know. Pick out your wheat scents. That one turned out okay. You can run it again with vinegar and it'll clean it all up. But you know, stuff like this, stuff like that, ones that are all pitted, those are never ever spendable. I guess you could try to give them to your bank, see if they take them. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's awful. Anyway, so that's the process. I'll pick some of these out, run them in vinegar, and that'll be the last one, and then I'll roll everything up. So when I bring it back up, we'll be rolling these things up. And, or I'll pick these out and I'll run it again. Like that's no good. I'll run it again with vinegar this time and see how they turn out. All right. Yep, so this is what happens. I wasn't watching it. And you see all the liquid down there. Thank God it wasn't a giant explosion because it would have covered the wall and everything else. But yeah, it's good to have a tray or do it outside because that one exploded. Probably from the pennies, you know, in the vinegar mixing together. There's probably a couple of those in there. Oh, I know what this is. Well, no, I don't remember. One of them's got vinegar, one's just got soap and water as a first run, I think. That must be the vinegar one. And the penny was broken down and reacted with the vinegar. Ugh, what a mess. Alright, that's why I hate doing pennies. I think I'll get a vibratory tumbler that I can just run dry stuff in or something. Because this is always a mess I have to deal with. Alright guys, this is how I roll my clad. Just take a handful. I got these on Amazon for everything. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. Just start dumping some in there. Super simple. Super easy. Most time they don't get jammed up. This was the cheapest way to do this that I could find because the automatic rollers cost like $200-300, and then if you get too many in there when you tilt it, it should pop out. Bought these at the Dollar Tree, $1.25 for a whole bag. It's assorted. Take the roll, stick it down in the top, right there, and you just kind of tap it a little bit, give it a little shake. There you go, and then it seats. Put your finger in there, turn it over. It's at the bottom there. You can just do one of these. You can tape it if you want, I guess. But there you go. $10 a quarter. It's that easy. So I have to sit there and do this for a little while I watch me some Monterey Magnet Man there. What did he find? He found some makeup.
Lipstick. Sweet. It smells like chemicals.
Yeah. So I just sit here in my my garage / man cave, watch some metal detecting videos,
There's a signal in that crack.
and roll my coins up, my clad. Oh yeah, that's the way we do it. That's how we roll. All right. I got some pennies going that kind of exploded, so I'll be bringing those up here in a minute. All right, this is one we saw on the roller. Let's see what it looks like. I was kind of hoping soaking all this over here in vinegar would take some of the fizz out, but probably as the crud cleans off and the zinc is exposed, it's just, I don't know, making it explode again. I don't know. Alright. Nothing satisfying about this. Hate doing pennies. I should just throw them all away. But I want to see what the grand total is for the year. I'll get this set up right. Not much liquid in here. As it all came out. All the vinegar came out. And this is a cheap tumbler too, guys. You know, I don't want to put a bunch of money into a super expensive tumbler I only use once a year, or when I do jewelry sometimes, I guess. Silver. unfortunate vinegar. I mean, some people use CLR and other stuff. Like I said, I don't think there's one set way of doing it. There's probably going to be more thrown away into that pile right there, the never evers, than anything else. Anyway, so you can see how it comes out. And like, if you're using Coinstar and stuff like that, those things right there, ones that look like that, they aren't going through. Good luck. Even these pitted ones here, if they're not pretty clean, as far as, I don't know how Coinstar works, weight or whatever. I mean, if it's missing edges and stuff like that, I heard it doesn't go through. But I don't use Coinstar. I roll all my stuff, but I'm not going to give the bank a bunch of junk either, even though I think by law they have to take it, but whatever. I'm not going to give them a bunch of junk. Anyhow, so that's how that batch turned out. Let's see what the other one looks like. This over here. Pennies in general are just no fun to deal with. I always find weird stuff too. It's the worst part. That's why I do it at last. Just because of the explosions. Makes it even worse. Like I said, I'm just going to get them clean enough that I can roll them. And that's it. I'm not looking for like how this turned out. Oh, like silver turned out really good. Had to rerun some of it a couple times. Just because of one of these, you know, when you get one of those stray, you know, foreign coins in there, and it turns everything copper. I think I'm gonna go with more water and less vinegar. Just enough to get the crud off. Said there's no one way to do it. I don't think everybody has their own way. This just happens to be my way. And if I wanted to, I could get every one of these looking brand new like it came out of the mint. But that's not going to happen. It takes too much time. And you start finding weird stuff you didn't know you had. Like smashed pennies and stuff like that. Alright. Yeah, like that is a never, ever going to be spendable. Stuff like this. So it's a process and it takes time. And a lot of people I know have like a water jug and they just throw them all in there, and when they die they let their kids take care of it, I guess. Here you go, there's your inheritance. Have fun. I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. That's pennies. That's kind of how I do them. Like I said, I could get these things so perfect it's not even funny, but not going to take the time doing it. That's one of them weird pennies. One of the newer ones that has... Let's see if you guys can see that. Focus. I can't even see it, but someone's sitting down. Maybe it's Lincoln or something. I don't know. Anyhow, guys. Alright, next video will just be total for everything. So, that's what we'll have next. Again, I had a blowout. So I can see. And I barely put any vinegar in there. I hate doing pennies. I really do. Just toss them all back into the sea. Just drives me nuts. Unbelievable. Barely had any vinegar in there too. Alright guys, this is my new toy. And like I said, not sponsored, but it's a Verver. And, don't mind the mess here. Costs exactly the same as that right there. Chicago Electric, which blows up. And this one holds way more. And now that's not even the cool thing. Watch this. It's got a timer. I'm going to set it for an hour. And low speed. And let's see, what am I on there? 1. Now this time I didn't put any water in. It's just straight vinegar. It would have blown the top off that already. And I apologize for the audio. It's going to get nasty here.
And you can pause and go to 2. And that's about as fast as the Chicago Electric's going. And you can go to 3. And I ran that last one for an hour at 3, and it cleaned everything. Where this one takes like 3 hours. If it doesn't blow up first. We might blow this one up, let's see. And you can go to 4. And you notice you can still see everything. And if you really want to go nuts, you can go to 5. Turbo. And that will turn everything gray and nasty really quick. I thought I'd show you this. Super wicked. I think I'll just run it on 3 for about an hour. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, 3. Leave it on 3 for about an hour. Let's see what happens. Isn't that cool? Hey, I got a new toy. That's awesome. Alright. I'll bring you back when I get this one done. Alrighty, let's check it out after an hour. It's probably going to have some fizz to it. It's just pure vinegar. No, and soap. And it's slow. See that? You guys see that reaction right there? That's what blows those other ones apart. It makes a mess. There's pressure on it. Oh, shit. You guys just see that? Yeah, I just made a mess. All right. Well, that's what can happen. Oh my God, that's awesome. I can't believe I just caught that one video. Holy mess, Batman. All right, so don't just use pure vinegar. Dude, that just totally blew up in my electric room. Oh my God. Oh, let's see it 1 hour. That's awesome. Alrighty. Oh, we know the whole pressure. Holy mackerel, what a mess. I want to see what they look like after an hour. Now, mind you, with that other setup, it takes about 3 or 4 hours. Holy mackerel, what a mess. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Looks about the same as if it was 3 or 4 hours. Alright. Yeah. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Alright. Well, that's better. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. I knew it had pressure, but not that much. That literally went everywhere. Something said for latex paint, though. Alright. Copper washer? Huh. What a mess. Alright, guys, do this outside. That is some I ran for 4 hours in the other tumbler. You can see it got some dinged away. I'm going to rerun them. This is what it looks like when it's done. Alright, cool. Alright, next part I'll be showing you is rolling these. And we'll do a grand total for November 2nd. Alright, stay tuned. Alright guys, this is how I roll my pins. Take one of these. Got them for like $9, I think, on Amazon. And at the time, they didn't have the sorting trays, which I just bought for $9. So instead of separating everything all the time, throw it all in one bucket and put it through the sorting trays, and it'll sort it for you. Just fill them up.
And this was about the cheapest way I could figure out how to do it. Those machines cost a bunch. See what happens when you get too many? Squirts one out the top. Take your little roller. Which I got a giant bag of assorted ones from Dollar Tree for $1.25, and it's nice because it's crimped in. The ones that come with it don't. You just stick that down over top of it like that. Stick it down over top, inside there. Turn it over. All comes out. Fold it. And you're done. 50-cent pennies. Right there. Doesn't get much easier than that. Unless you want to use Coinstar and lose money, which I don't. Some people have banks that let them do it for free, but you're still going to get, even those are all cleaned over there, you're going to get a high percentage of them kicked out for defects and everything. So, anyhow. All right, well, that's it for coin rolling 101. Cleaning, rolling, all that good stuff. Jewelry cleaning. So next will be a total for everything as of November 1st or whatever it is today, 2nd. So stand by for that once I get all these rolled up. Alright guys, so far, there's all my quarters, some nickels. Right now I got $280 quarters, $30 in nickels, and $115 in dimes for $425. Load these in. There's some more nickels here. Go. Some more dimes. This is as of November 2nd, I guess it is. There we go. Dimes. Coming open on dimes. Now for the pennies. And I'm not done with them. That's my kid's jar. I'm not sure how much he's got in here. This is one of them. That one's got $16.88 in it right now. Let's see, there's some more newer stuff, but for pennies. So that'd be 425, 426, 427, 428, 429, 430, 31, 432, 433, 34, 435, 436, 437, 438, 439, 440, 441, 442, 443, 444, 445, 446, 447, 50. So, grand total of $447.50 in clad as of November 1st. And there's probably another $10 in there, so we'll probably, I don't know, may or may not hit 500 this year. Did a little over 400 last year, so it's about average, I guess. Average out 400 every year or more. But there we go. That is the end of the clad for now. Not too bad. Adds up really quick, I guess. A lot of work, but it's kind of fun doing it because you find all sorts of weird stuff. Because I'm not counting money-wise all the euros and dollars and 50-cent pieces I've already put in my kid's bank that I can't open, a little ceramic pig bank or whatever. You know, so I guarantee I made over 500 already this year because that thing's full. That and bicentennial quarters, I took all those out. And what else? Oh, all the wheat pennies and stuff I took out and put them in his bank. So probably over 500 for the year for clad. Anyhow, guys, see, it does add up. All right, until next time. Peace.